Re bitsa the city of gold ka lebaka la hore Gauta e tholwa hona mo re dulang. Joburg e ntse e le lehae la di-mine tsa South Africa. Government ya rona e collecta tjhelete e ngata e tswang di-taxing tsa di-mine. Empa ho ntse hona le di-mine tse sa sebetseng ka molao, tse senyang maphelo a batho ba sotlehang le bana ba bona. Bosiung bona, re dula fatshe le motswadi wa ngwana a affectilweng ke di-chemical tse sebediswang di-mining tse re buang ka tsona. Oratilwe is 10 years old and suffers from cerebral palsy as a result of the toxins released and dumped by these illegal mines. We're unpacking this tonight on Motswako. Dumelang molweni sanbonani, lebitso la ka ke Setjhaba Gqeba, ke a le amohela ho Motswako. It may have been the city of gold in the 1950s and 60s, but Johannesburg's hardly a mining town anymore. However, the dumps left by old mines have become a breeding ground for illegal mining, disease, and the root of many other ills plaguing our communities. Tonight, we see how mining dumps in Johannesburg and operational mines in other parts of the country have affected the lives of mining communities, begging us to ask the question, what is more important, the lives of the people or the profit that these mining companies make? Have some of these mining companies neglected their responsibility to build the communities they mine in, and have they prioritized their profit over people? Topic ya rona ya kajeno ke profit over people. Re dutse le Ostini ra amohela ho Motswako. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Ostini taba ena e buima wa tseba.
Yes.
Ke taba e buima haholo.
Yes.
And ke utlwa ho thwe wena o batho ba makeisheneng ba lwantshanang le yona.
Yes.
A ko re jwetse hore ho qadile jwang o fihlele ho yona taba
Ukuqala kwami ukufika eSnake Park, ngithe mangifika eSnake Park, I think ngafika lapho ngo-August vele bekune dust. So but uma ngabe ku-August kune dust, mhlambe uhlala kwamanye amalokishi uhlangana nomhlabathi obovu, uhlangana nomhlabathi onjani. Ba ngifika nomntwana laphana, mangifika nomntwana iminute le dust lena ikuthinta you developer mhlambe amashashaza. And then umntana waba ne-eczema from lapho. And then lokho ngithathe lo mhlabathi ngiwubheke, ngifuna ukubona ukuthi lo mhlabathi kahle kahle wenzakalani, why unama particles amhlophe lana ngaphakathi. And then ngase ngiyadecide mina kwayifikela nje ukuthi ngidecide mina ukuthi mangingena house to house ngifind out about le dust with guys in, because now umntana nami mayiqala isithinta siba namashashaza.
And umntana how old at the time?
Bekana 7 years. Wow. So now mangiqala ngingena lana ezindlini ngathola ukuthi abantu idust yabakhwehlelisa, abantu banaboma asthma, abantu banaboma silicosis, abanye banabantwana ba blind, abantu abanye banabantwana bane cerebral palsy, abanye you come across abantwana abaningi abane plastic mania, uhlangana nabantwana abaningi abane le part black nje kuphela emehlweni. This other part eyikhona ayikho total. Kuwo wonke ama like isuke yangimangaza in such a way that each and every street you come across abantwana abane cerebral palsy. Each and every street. So yangimangaza labantu bane same deformity, and sometimes ube nokuthuka ukuthi hayi ngisendaweni right naye, understand. And in a household sometimes uthola ukuthi abantwana by 3 by 4 kanjalo. Abantu ba complain manje ukuthi hayi man masithi siya ebhara siya mhlambe eyibhedlela abo doctor bavele babuza ukuthi nihlale eduze nemine na, yeah, understand. And uthola ukuthi bazokutshela abo doctor bazokutshela ukuthi no man, it is because of ama chemicals that were used by imine. Umoya nje first and foremost esubreathayo awukho right. Le ndawo yelana is highly radioactive. How did I find out? Ngithema ngiloko ngibusy ngenza lawo research, ngaleso sikhathi ngibusy ngenza lawo research. Ngaqala manje ngabiza nga-involve ake manje ama-journalists ukuthi understand, ngifonela abo Daily Sun, ngifonela abo Citizen, ngifonela wonke umuntu, guys please come and expose this. I thought mhlambe besizothola ihelp.
What do you do on the ground? And I mean, what about the miners? Do they have any responsibility here?
Mines are very dodgy. Ex-miners are very dodgy. You don't come across them. You know, they will tell you the owner, I'm not the owner, the previous owner is this one. So they are very dodgy. So that is the problem that we're having. They are very, very dodgy.
As we speak, that particular dump falls within the exploration license of one mining company, the mining license of another mining company. You go to the first mining company, they say, no, it's not us, it's them. They go to that one, they say, no, it's not us, it's the other one. Now, for that mine dump not to be maintained is actually a crime. You know, it should be fenced off, it should be signposted, it should have plants growing on it, it should be irrigated.
Tosakala ukuthi akukho sizo noma ngabe uyile ephepheni akukho even one elona member yelona ye government ebakhona lapha yana. So ithe isikhathi masiloko sihamba ngahlangabezana ne benchmarks ukuthi yona yangifuna because beloku iloku ifunana like isebenza kakhulu with people with
benchmarks just
benchmarks foundation, it's church affiliated which we ilana kwi association of churches, but now what it does isiza abantu aba impacted by these mines lona that are adjacent to them, by these chemicals zasema mine. So saqala ke sasebenzisana nayo ibenchmarks ngabatshela ngokuthi sengihambe ngaze ngafika how far bengenzi isnake park kuphela ngithema ngihlangabezana nale problem yalabantwana
other areas
ngaya nakwamanye ama areas because I wanted to prove myself right or wrong into saying ngempela lento engiyibona yayenzakala. But now you go afar off and in distance from a snake park in Dobsonville extension, there are no kids abane cerebral palsy. You might come across maybe one. Yeah, understand. And then isayas nokwesisebenza kanjalo na benchmarks kuza nabanye abolokhu kwafika bathumela ke iAl Jazeera. When iAl Jazeera ifika ngale nayo sasebenzisana nayo ya invite ke manje what is this ama scientists from France. What happened is mangiloko ngiround ngise ngithi man, let me go eduze nasemine la labo baba laba abafama khona because abantu bayitholela nje ibase shame baloko ngathola ukuthi laphana laba abantu they have blind animals, they have deformed animals. Ilona imbuzi ihleli laphana ayiboni, you understand. So with them ngiyengajabula because ngithe mangifika laphana ngathola ukuthi labo baba bayebahamba ke bashona like kuma vet and ivet isho kahle ukuthi the impacts are from a mine. You understand? Because mines basebenzisa kakhulu what is this heavy metals. All those heavy metals if they can be crushed into a powder ziba a problem ebantwini.
It's very evident ukuthi you're very involved when there izinto. Ke leboha usithayini re tla khutla.
Okay.
Lo utlwile he re tlo khutla papatsong re buele a government official o tla re hlalosetsang hore ntho tse etsahalang government e reng ka tsona. Ska lebala topic ya rona ka jeno ke profit over people o ska suta.
I'm sure it's more than 60 bana ba tshwereng ke dio tse.
More than 60.
Yes. Ha ba ka collectwa ka ofela bana ba le ba batliwa. A ke ba ba nga re tsebane, ba ba ra tsebane and ba ba ra ba pata wa understand that.
Ha ke dutse ke le jena ke tseba hantle hore ngwana ke mpho e kgolo mara ka nako tse ding ha o tswala ngwana ana le disabilities o tla thola hore batho makeisheneng ba bua ntho tse ngata ntho tsa hore ngwana o loilwe or batswadi hona le ntho e ba yentseng hona jwale re bua ka ntho ena ya di illegal mines, profit over people. Di community tsena di affectwa ke di dumping sites tsa di illegal mine. Ke dula fatshe le Mapule Mabonga nkgono wa o ratilwe ke ngwana a tshwereng ke cerebral palsy o tshole hore condition ya hae e linked ke ntho ena ya di dumping sites tsa di illegal mine. Mapule ra amahela ho Motswako, welcome to the show. So kwena nkgono wa o ratilwe ke?
Yes.
O ratilwe o na le lemo tse 10.
Yes.
A ko re jwetse ka ntho ena ya condition ya hae ya cerebral palsy.
Okay. O ratilwe ke setlogolo saka ne. Mme wa hae e rile ha le kopara a thola ngwana ona then ha phone right mama ba re ngwana ka ha sharp o disable. Okay, no problem. But mo ke dulang teng this mine for it
Snake Park.
Ko snake park okay. Next to the mine. Ha se qadile dust ela ko snake park ele le mo dipitseng wa ithola.
Ha bathong.
Ka mo o dropong wa ithola guys re mathateng.
So ntwena e qadile neng e lore lona le dula Snake Park ntwa di mine e qadile neng e qadile.
A re tsebe re fumane hona mo ka re because pleke ena ha e bulwa ka 91 ne ke dula ko Kilana. Pleke ena ha e bula re thotse mine eo e ntse le tsa situation e ntse e le teng but mo rona re dulang teng ne go sna batho. Meaning ine e affecta Dobsonville ine ya ko Dobsonville fela. Ha e fitla mo rona e bile change le di direction ha e batla etla mo rona ha e batla e ya Dobsonville so mathata I never go bone.
Sure. Ha re bue ka o ratilwe le condition ya o ratilwe o tsholo wa situation e qadile ho barakwana fa ke bona bankileng responsibility. But now ngwana kuona ona le condition ena ke ntho tse le reng la di bona ho ngwana tse le reng le kare ke ka taba ya yona di illegal mines.
O ratilwe ha tsamaye o ratilwe ha bubi ne ke mo tsamaisa ko physio ba mo discharge ko physio without any a gona changes e leng teng mo Ratile o ntsa sa bui o ntsa sa tsamaye but o discharged so go dula mo plekeng entse e tshwana le yona ya mining dumping go tsore a kena solution a kena thuso a gona ntho ke tla e etsang ke tlo staka le ngwana ona until because this is the situation.
And then ha re bue ka taba ya di test tsele tse ba le ba di etsa kere
Yes.
tsa moriri hore ba thole hore condition ena e linked ke tshwana tse buang tsa di toxins le di dust tsa dintho.
So if we look at the scientific perspective, what are the effects of uranium and of course, how grave are they?
It contains uranium, it contains lead, it contains arsenic, it contains cadmium. Cadmium and uranium are both radioactive, but lead is just as poisonous and arsenic gives you cancer.
But to that extent gore ba re bile bana ba rena ba itse digwaga gore this I can o itse re pula ha enile ne gona le dintwe bana ba rena ha ba itse ha ba experience the tse dingata because of this mining because of this dumping serious makamabi.
And then to reporta hona le motho le buang le yona di counselor ga di reng ho etsahala.
No re buile bile re thotsa re sa bua.
And then nahana mama ha ke nahana taba hore le dula mo ho leng jwalo.
Ena cancel le dula le rona.
Ha
re dula le ene ke ra gana re ke be re bone plan ka nako eo but
hona plan e etsahala
ntse le teng
and has o Ratile ha se yena ngwana mo a buang ba ba
ka mo ntlu mo ke sile ngwana o shwa ka o na le ngwana disable ke ba sile ko ntlu meaning ke sile bana ba ithu ko ntlu ke Neo le o Ratile Neo is 13 years old
yena o tshwere ke
CP yo ba bangata bana ba CP ko Snake Park so I'm sure it's more than 60 bana ba tshwereng ke dio tse
more than 60
yes ha ba ka collector ka fela bana ba le ba batliwa a ke ba banga re tsebane ba bang ra tsebane ene ba bang ra ba pata wa understand o tshaba go montsha go bane mang o tla reng o kila ba so ba
but question ya ka gore lona as batho ba dulang Snake Park twele bonang every day ka ha o tshore ha o ka counter hona le bana ba bo 60 ba affectwang ke tsona ntotse o ka batla gore mo government ya rona
sa ntla re kopa center government o areletse center ko Snake Park a ke kgonisa o Ratile ko sekolong because tšhelete e le nna ke shebile ke aja e ntlhokometse ke na le dinitsi o Ratile o na le dinitsi ha ke tswa le o Ratile ko strateng ke mo isa kae ba shebile gore o apere yes a ke ba shebile gore o apere o hai o ja tšhelete ha so I make sure gore o Ratile ha tswa mole to do
so tabeng tsa sekolo support go jwang hona
a gona re ke tlo mo isa sekolong ko patala ka school fees tshomo
ena dikolo di ka di teng tsona dikolo
transport ka dikolo di teng tsona di
ko Snake Park
adio
wa e bontho ke buang ka yona
say the last school ene ke ile ko sona ke ko Nkanyezi kwa ko Mzimhlope transport ene le 700 nako eo a ke tse gona neng ke bokae so ha ke ile patala school fees ka yona tšhelete ena o Ratile pampers ko enka kae o ile aparang o Ratile tshwantsa je 1 2 3 o kila e bona ge so I recall, or it's either this government la ka re fa di voucher like it can be a voucher or a voucher e tlhokometse nna because a ke kgone o bereka o Ratile o dula lemo
ho taba go ya pele le ho bua le government nna ntho e nkutlwisang bohloko ho feta dintho kaofela ke hore le dutse mo mo leng tjene di bo service delivery ha eyo ha re qale mo ha re bue tabeng tsa bo di refuse collection ha re bue ka di recreational activities hona mo le dulang ha di ntho tseo hodima mo o ntse o shebane le situation ena e loreng e linked ke ntho ena ya di illegal mining
yes
well mama re fast ka jeno re bua ka profit over people ho tlo bana le motho e loreng o ka dula fatshe le yena wa botsa dipotso tseo a kere ska ha o batla dikarabo tse tswang ho government a kere but ke thaba hantle ha o kgone o dula fatshe o bue story sa ho le rona okay re dutse le mapule ke nkgono wa o Ratile is 10 years old o tshwere ke cerebral palsy ke tla le bona ha re gutla papatsong o ska re lebala ho sheba hashtag ya rona profit over people re bua ka di illegal mine le hore di etsang batho in our communities ke tla le bona ha re gutla Se re khutlile papatsong topic ya rona ka jeno ke profit over people re dutse fatshe le Mama Tiny before ya breaking Mama Tiny ke activist re bua ka ntwena ya hore di mining company ha ba shebane le ho etsa tšhelete ka hodima batho ba setjhaba ho etsahalang hona jwale re joinwa ke DDG etswang departmenting ya mineral resources and energy Madikeledi Malebe wa re joina Madikeledi re bua ka profit over people re bua ka ntwena ya the mining sector ntho ya di illegal mining batho ba tswang di community mo loreng ba affectwa ke di toxins le ntho tsena tse etsahalang lona as government ha le shebane le taba ena le batla hore
There are studies that have been conducted by the department as well and various other institutions, but I'm going to be talking about the ones that department where it's conducted. We've got a state-owned entity called Council for Geoscience. In terms of that entity, it's conducting those studies, especially in those areas that you've mentioned, because it's those areas where we're experiencing what we call acid mine drainage. So what we're doing as the state, we also have apportioned funding to go and remedy some of those dirty water that is coming underground. So we are really doing something from our side to try to make sure that our communities are safe at all times.
Ke rata taba ya hore o buile ka mathata a ba wa experienceng hona di community tsena le hore o sontso o risitse tseleng ya hore le planner eng as government. Ke dutse le Ostine le Memapule ba dula Snake Park. So ke batla hore re bue le Memapule a qale a ho jwetse situation ya hae. Batho bana ba di community tse loreng di disadvantaged haholo. So una le potso e loreng o batla ho botsa yona. Mama Mapule o no batla ho reng ho DDG?
Ne ke kopa gona ntwe ne ke batla go kopa ke batla go kopa ntwe tse pedi ko concerning bana ba rona le area e reducing ka yona as the parents ba re tlhokometseng bana ba 24 hours ne ha ke bereke ha ke etse everything so ke pala ke go misa sekolong so nne ne re kopa center e re tlankang bana stimulation ba itloka ba se tloka bana o kila bana because re dula le bona mo ntlung a yo next ke etsang I'm not trained go godisa ngwana wa CP but if gona le center ko Snake Park bana ba tla khona go thola stimulation 1 2 3 ba tla khona go yetsa enna ke sa khoneng go yetsa and another thing e ke tlo ikopang gape ke kopa le re thuse as the parents tsa bana ba ka re the very same grant e ngwana ona a itholang ne ke shebile le nna because I'm not working ke na le di needs ke a ja mo yona ke etsa e sa afford ene how about nna e tlong afforda yang so re thuseng as batho ba tlhokometseng bana ba please ra kopa re feng something le rona e re tla khonang go iphidisa ka yona bana ba re ba phidise ka tšhelete a bone.
So Mama Mapule o buile ntho tse pedi financial support ke ntho e kgolo le center Ostani ne ke kopa le wena hore o kene o tlo bua hore motho a dulang Snake Park le shabane le ntho tse jwang le hore wena o fila jwang ka taba e.
At all times mangizwa kukhulunywa kwezinye indawo ke kuthiwe iJoburg is a city of gold but now throughout the whole South Africa lama mines are allocated where poor people are and those poor people abahlele eduze nalawo mines they don't benefit at all and I think you know it very well now ngokwakho as umuntu osebenza phezulu thina phela sizazi kahle lezi zinto ukuthi uma ngabe mhlambe imine ise location elithile ise community nethize community must benefit abantu abahlala eduze kwama mine they are impacted in such a way that abasazi ukuthi benze njani. You come across abantwana abane cerebral palsy, you come across abantwana abane severe eczema, you come across abantwana abane nale part e black yelihlo engekho le e white which is called cornea abanayo. You understand? And there are people now about farmer adjacent to those mines. You ask ukuthi abantu bayizamela kunzima kulesikhathi samanje. So people who are farming eduze nalama mine, you come across, I have never seen blind animals. Abantwana bethu they are born blind. Sikhuluma ngama mine abundant yini. That is why ngithi mina angengibheze kakhulu kwi illegal mining because I will go back kahle kahle in terms of imigodi umama ayibekile. So sinaleyo problem yokuthi the mines have actually are impacting abantu abahlala adjacent to them.
So DDG, I think there's a common theme hore hontwe ba buang ka yona, you know, accountability, bana maphelo a bona on a day-to-day basis le ntho tse ba kopanang le bona. So is there anything that you would like to say hore as government what's the way forward?
All those complaints because I can sure say ba di rometse ko departmenteng or ha ba di romelle ke tlo khopela gore if they've not sent it as yet ke tlo lefa email address at the end.
Thank you.
Ban romele tsona and then re khona check out is it the areas that we are already working on because we know some of those areas especially where there are slime dams, old slime dams where you find so seepage and sometimes it even get to people's houses. And it's something that as the department we are also working on to make sure that that does not happen. So to get specifics, I will humbly request that bandrumele the specifics ka email, and then kikono check ali team, or is it the area that we are already working on or not? Okay. And in addition to that, about the issue of the mines. The mines as well, as and when they apply, when we process or approve their applications, there's what we call a social and labor plan. A social labor plan in a part local economic development, where the mines are expected or are forced to make sure that they look after the lives of the people where they are mining. So in terms of that social labor plan, they do local economic development projects. And those projects, their engagements are supposed to happen with the local municipality, and they are linked with the IDP of the communities, because we assume as the department that the IDP is communicated or is engaged with the communities, the local communities. So we expect the SLP to be linked with the IDP. So for instance, they're talking about the centers. If maybe as part of the community, they are of the opinion that a center for the children is the most important thing that they must have. So we'll include that in as part of the NEP project.
Tabadi Center is a priority?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Okay.
Those are some of the things that we are doing as the department as well, to make sure that communities don't suffer, because we know the impact of mining on the communities, especially when you look at areas like Gauteng. We know Johannesburg, Gauteng, mining happened a very long time ago. Only minimal mining is happening now. So most of those companies are companies that are gone and we can't trace them. So what the department is doing, we've got funding to make sure that we go and rehabilitate those areas.
DDG, thank you so much for Hetsanako for Hudula Leron. Le ladies. Le ikutlwa jwang ha le bile le DDG?
Nna ke thabile serious haholo. Ke a tshepa re ntwe nna a re bolela yona ke ntho a tla re letsa yona. Ke ile bona ntho ke ntho e tlo etsagalang.
Ke a le leboha Ostine, re lebohile ha o dutse fatshe le rona. Mama Mapule, ke a o leboha ha o dutse fatshe le rona.
Leboha.
Haebaneng o misitse topic ya rena ka jeno o ka ya social media wa re sheba ho Motswako 20. Nna le wena re tla kopana next week.
In the words of Tata Mandela, as long as poverty, injustice and gross inequality exists in our world, none of us can truly rest. And this remains true even today. Let us not rest or look away from injustice and equality, whether or not it affects you directly. Kopana le rona ha Motswako o tswela pele ka di Wednesdays ho the Monate Breakfast Show on Lesedi FM, o re tshware hape ho Jabulu Jule on Ukhozi FM ka di Thursdays.